Well, welcome in here to the Room to Room Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor for Mississippi Live Weather at 10. And we start our broadcast off with a look out of Illinois. Yes, that is the tornado that was seen up there in Hopedale. That video by Allie sent in to us here at Mississippi Live Weather. We will talk more about that coming up here in just a moment. But let's go ahead and bring it back in here to the Room to Room Weather Center to talk the latest on our severe weather impacts. As you see right there, tornadoes not expected with our setup. It continues to be those strong gusty winds, level 2 threat right there, and some damage expected, and honestly some power outages as well. Small hail not impossible, and 1 to 2 inches. Wouldn't be shocked at all if we see some in excess of 2 inches when we're talking about the total rainfall. We have an update to Saturday's timing. This will come as new model runs are coming out or positioning that out county by county here in just a moment. We're continuing to track that severe weather potential using that energy out ahead of it, how that lines up with those models. We'll be looking at that, and it will be a happy Easter. Why? No severe weather. That threat clears on out early on into our Sunday morning, leaving us much drier for those egg hunts, for those services, whatever you have planned heading into your Easter, looking happy for sure. So the first 12 were 10% by 10, limited capacity with some of those showers right along the river. Track that out here in just a moment, but heading into tomorrow morning, still pretty limited. But that unstable air allows those storms to cook up a little bit more, and there will be seeing some of those increased activity, by the afternoon. That severe weather risk level 1 threat still in place for our Saturday. Tracking out each individual risk shows why the damaging wind is a little bit more elevated comparatively speaking, is because of that setup, and we do expect at least some strong gusts to be expected. Might be sub-severe in some spots, but still going to be gusty for sure. Tornado risk, what we call a non-zero threat, not exactly expected with the setup, but it's not impossible to get a brief spin up if all of those ingredients interact together at just the right time. We'll be here 24/7 tracking this out for you as needed, and we'll cut in as necessary throughout your day. So schedule kind of thrown out the window tomorrow. We'll still be live 6 and 10, but we might be live a little bit extra to cover these storms. Large hail also not expected, should remain sub-severe with some of that small hail potential as well. Our Mama Justice Doppler radar. There's your 10% lining up right along the Mississippi River. Actually had a few storms out there towards southern Arkansas that did produce a severe thunderstorm warning and some small hail and wind damage with that as well. This has been where all the action has happened. You saw it at the top of the broadcast out of Illinois. You're also getting some of that action out there towards Oklahoma. And with that severe thunderstorm watch in effect, this is where I wouldn't be shocked at all if we were potentially getting a watch heading into tomorrow as these thunderstorms continue to progress east right along that cold front right here to North Mississippi. All right, let's go ahead and look at the futurecast to track these out heading into the rest of our Friday night, but primarily into the start of your Saturday. That isolated activity remaining out ahead of this front, so not really expecting much severe weather. That severe weather threat still out there towards Oklahoma, so what we get here in Mississippi overnight, a few light showers, but that's really it. So not really putting a damper on much of our morning plans, but a few sprinkles not impossible for any of those Saturday morning plans if you do have those. As you get into the mid to late morning, there's a look at some of those showers moving in. But when we're talking severe timing, look at how far the front has already been pushed back, right? Moving a little bit slower, lining up more with the afternoon hours, and what that might do is add a little bit more of that unstable air as well. That's why this positioning matters. And that's why it's important you pay attention here in the next few moments as we track this out county by county through the rest of your afternoon. So the next 24, limited throughout the start of the day, but by the time we get towards lunch and really beyond, that's where those chances start to climb. 50 all the way up to 80% there by 6. Thunderstorms, some strong thunderstorms possible. We're tracking that out. Coming up here in the next 60 seconds, we're also talking more about that severe weather potential, what to expect, when to expect it. All of that coming up in more detail here in the next 60 seconds as Mississippi Live Weather at 9 continues right after the break.
Imagine your child with no place to sleep. For many children, that is their reality tonight. When you buy a mattress at Room to Room, we give one to a child in need through Beds for Kids. Buy a bed, give a bed, change a life.
I have been going to Two Place Smiles my whole life. When I was a kid, I was unhappy about some uneven coloring on my teeth after getting my braces off, which at the time there really wasn't a fix. I was recently made aware of a solution that would totally fix it, which is exactly what we did. They not only heard my concerns, but they never stopped looking to solve my problem, and that's why I love Two Place Smiles.
We can see the lowering. We're going to have a good shot at that as it approaches the Ryenzi area. Tornado warning now issued. We'll do a push alert behind the scenes for folks here up here in Alcorn County. Rotation on this thunderstorm increasing to the point back into Tippah County as well, where the National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for your locations.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
Welcome in to the Room to Room Weather Center. I saw Brenda in the chat saying it was so hot today. Well, that heat is one of those unstable layers that we talk about that allows those storms to flare up, but also allows some strong storms to stick around as well. So Saturday will continue to be above average, will continue to be, dare I say, hot, as Brenda said, and that's what's allowing that fuel to continue to build. And fuel is what we're looking at here in just a moment. Beyond that, I said it's going to be a happy Easter, honestly a hoppy Easter, we can use the pun there, as drier conditions prevail and plenty of sunshine moves in. Those temperatures are taking a bit of a dip though, so that's that extended pattern. But we need to focus on the here and now, and that is that severe weather potential. We talked about it at the top of the show. There's that level 2 threat all the way up into Missouri, Iowa, and Illinois. This is attached to that front that will impact us tomorrow, but the more inclement weather is still up there towards our north, and this is where we did get that video sent in from Hopedale, Illinois by Allie, and there's that funnel cloud there. Eventually did touch down for a brief moment and then lifted, but as of right now, no damage has been reported, so grateful that the folks up there are okay, but definitely a scary side as that moves across the area. So bringing it back in here to the Room to Room Weather Center, you can see that our threat is not going to be as significant. That level 2 threat carries on with that warm front. We're getting the cold front down here in North Mississippi, and the cold front is not going to have nearly as much shear with it, and that means the tornado threat is very, very low. It's a non-zero, so very, very low, lining up with that term as well. Bringing it closer, you can see that level 1 threat primarily going to be for the north, all of North Mississippi, honestly, except for that northwest section. Let me tell you why I expect this to change. With the front being pushed a little bit slower, so that means the front's going to be positioned a little bit further back, I think we include northwest Mississippi with that level 1 threat because of the slower moving front, because that's going to be now moving into northwest Mississippi in the peak heating of the afternoon. And again, Brenda, I'm going to reference you one more time. The heat of the day, that matters because that's that buoyant air that allows these storms to really start to flare up and potentially intensify into a severe thunderstorm. So Mama Justice Doppler radar, nothing severe right now, just going to be a few showers out there towards Greenville, even moving to the Rolling Fork area. All of that rainfall remaining out there towards Arkansas and Louisiana. Here in North Mississippi, we continue to stay mostly dry. So out of Rolling Fork tonight, you see 75 degrees. You see dew points in the mid-60s. Still see those winds coming out of the south. So you want to talk about the fuel provided, it's still out of the south. And there's a few drops reaching the ground there in Rolling Fork. So a soggy evening for some, but as we look up there towards the north and west, those chances still remain pretty minimal all the way out there towards Arkansas, potentially crossing the river. So West Helena, Friars Point, even down there towards Duncan, potentially getting a few sprinkles, but overall nothing severe. And when we're talking impactful rainfall, folks in Clarksdale are not getting any of that. Again, just going to be maybe 1/100 of an inch towards those overnight hours. We're 79 degrees though, dew point still in the low 60s, and that is enough unstable air to get these storms going, getting into our afternoon, especially as the heat of the day moves in as well. So tonight, we're only 10% coverage. We're 71 by 11, 64 there towards 5 a.m. So that mild air, yeah, it's definitely felt with the unstable air as well. But that's why it is still a warmer start to our Saturday morning. So Friday night stays with those partly cloudy skies, a large part of that moisture remaining into Arkansas. Once it crosses the river, just kind of tapers on out. So that's where it's a sprinkle as possible, but overall impactful rainfall will be up there towards Arkansas. But Saturday morning, we're seeing warm air. We're seeing that moisture stick around as well, allowing our temperatures to be pretty warm. So that's why we're currently sitting 63 Houston, Tupelo, 64 Starkville, and 63 Kosciuszko. Now out there towards the west, this is again why I think that northwest Mississippi will be added back to this. We're 68 Tunica, Southaven, and Clarksdale. You allow the heat of the day to mix in, well, then you get the moisture and that fuel to flare up right ahead of these storms and allow for some of this discrete development out ahead of this to maybe intensify into some of those gustier winds and some of those storms as well. I mean, right there, you see how it moves through Memphis and goes from those lighter greens to some of the reds? That shows that the rainfall is intensifying, and usually that heavier rainfall also synonymous to higher cloud tops. And those higher cloud tops with more lift in the air allows for maybe some of the strong thunderstorms as well. Not saying that specific cell, but nonetheless, the energy is still there to allow some of this development with that moisture to maybe move into some stronger storm coverage. So there by 3 p.m., watch how these cells out ahead of it just basically stick around, and that's going to eat at some of the strongest fuel that we have. So Golden Triangle, 6 p.m., watching for you for some of those cells as well. Mississippi State already moving their game up to 10 a.m. on your Saturday. So if you have tickets, there you go. But 6 p.m. not expected to be the first pitch anymore because of these rain chances. So they're making the plans, and you should too. So our updated timing, we're 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. for the northwest side of Mississippi. But as this moves towards the basically Natchez Trace corridor, we're 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. And that's when that more intense air should move in. We're 6 to 11, Golden Triangle and beyond out there towards northwest Alabama. And that is going to be carrying over through your Saturday. But what you notice, 11 p.m., not going into Easter at all for that severe weather potential, and that means we're going to be much calmer by our Easter holiday. So we're 81 New Albany and Booneville, 83 though Starkville, 85 Columbus. So you can see how there's more that warm, moist air out there towards the Golden Triangle, especially comparing that to northwest where the front would have already moved through. So we're 77 Tunica and South Haven, but 85 Columbus and Aliceville. There's your discrepancy showing the fronts moving through all day long. That's going to drive our temperature forecast as well. So these rain chances moving out of the area by 10, 11 o'clock, and that means no more severe weather for us here in North Mississippi. So this is not going to be a nocturnal threat for long. Just basically as you wrap up those evening plans and you're getting ready for bed, you'll be able to because you won't have to worry anymore about the weather. 3 a.m., there's where those showers do stick around, so I guess you could worry about it in that fact in regards to getting rained on for any of those plans. But the severe weather threat is going to be out of here. That's what I should have said. 6 a.m. Sunday morning, your Easter Sunday, unless you're a pastor in Pickens County, everyone else should be dry heading into the start of that Easter holiday. So we're 46 Holly Springs, 50 in Tupelo, 53 Starkville and Columbus, and we're 54 Belzona. So that drier air coming out of Cost as cooler air does move back in. And I say cooler, that's pretty much our average for this time of year. We've just been so warm that we've been spoiled with the warm air that we're finally getting back to reality for our Easter Sunday. The day stays dry and the cloud cover will work to clear on out. A large part of this cloud cover going to be more thin, and that continues to thin up as the day goes on, meaning Sunday afternoon. If you're doing any of those afternoon egg hunts, you'll have a beautiful sunny sky to enjoy with it. And just going to be a great time with family, with friends, and celebrating the risen Savior, as well as getting some eggs in the process. So it should be a great Easter Sunday, at least weather-wise. We're making it a happy Easter, that's for sure. 65 South Haven, Holly Springs, and Corinth. 67 New Albany and Booneville. We are 70 Houston, Bruce, and Eupora, and 69 towards Starkville. So temperatures, our high temperature Sunday, lining up with our low temperatures Saturday morning. So flipping the script a little bit, right? Our day planner stays dry throughout the day. We're 54, 9 a.m., climbing to 66 there by 3, so looking good throughout the day. And although it did say partly cloudy skies, I think we do get mostly sunny towards the afternoon. And that's what will stick around heading into next week as well. Those temperatures gradually heating back up, but it is still going to be a cooler start to the day. So, yes. Southern summer rain, so glad it's not an overnighter. That is honestly a big positive with this pattern. And fortunately, with the front being slowed down, I was worried about it potentially going a little bit more into the night, but it's still lining up to clear on out before Easter. Again, the severe weather threat clearing out before Easter, but rain chances should clear out by the time we're waking up for the morning of our Easter services. So looking good to go. We're talking the latest on these, the time frame. We're also talking the latest on those impacts coming up at 10 o'clock tonight. Using our triple threat, that's going to be the new model run. So it's going to take you through county by county, what to expect, how the latest modifications have been in place with the newest model run. So you're going to want to tune in for that, and we'll keep you guys posted in advance. And I also do want to say before we wrap up that while there are tornadoes up towards our north and there are tornadoes out there towards our west, our tornado threat is not nearly as high as theirs was, and we're just expecting some heavy rainfall and some of those gusty winds. Still enough to download that Mississippi Live Weather app, so if you've not already done so, make sure to download that on iOS and Android. We're in the night before the event, so now's the time to get prepared and stay safe. And we are going to be watching this on the app all day long, and if we feel the need to cut in to update you guys on some of those strong storms, we will. And while it is 6 and 10 in our broadcast schedule for tomorrow evening, it will be altered just a bit to accommodate for these storms if needed, like I said. So we're watching this all the time with you guys. Don't worry, we will keep you safe. You just have to have that app to stay safe. You got to do your part at least. and we will do ours. Our next broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. You won't want to miss it. Like I said, triple threat coming up. Going to keep you updated on those potential impacts. We're also talking the latest on the timing. Once again, tracking that county by county for you right here from the Room to Room Weather Center as we wrap up the 9 o'clock broadcast. And we'll see you back here in the next half hour.